Welcome back to the Cannes Parallel Challenge 2024. My name is Arno.
And my name's Matt, and in today's episode, we'll be talking about Kirill Serebrenikov's films Betrayal and Limonov, the Ballad.
So Serebrennikov worked extensively since the beginning of the century in theater, television, and film directing. His theater directing career was particularly fruitful, winning awards and bringing the Gogol Center to greater worldwide prestige. Serebrennikov, being a Russian filmmaker, has had difficult relationship with his own country though. His films never outright critique the government, but they often showcase faults in Russian society. Leto is about the punk scene in Russia, The Student is about religious fundamentalism, and Petrov's Flu is about the broken foundation of communism. In 2017, Serebrenikov's quarters were raided under suspicion of an embezzlement scheme, although we can assume that it was more of an intimidation tactic to keep Serebrennikov quiet on issues he's been vocal about, notably LGBTQ rights. He was put under house arrest, which was prolonged into a travel ban where he couldn't leave the country through 2022, at which point he escaped Russia and has been based in Germany ever since. We've seen all of Serebrennikov's Cannes-selected films, so we thought we'd dive a little deeper into his filmography to see what he's been up to before.
It's kind of funny that we've seen so many Serebrennikov films. Kind of a weird filmmaker for us to stan. Betrayal follows the story of two people who begin a relationship with one another after discovering that their partners are cheating together. And so it starts with this premise that feels very similar to Wong Kar-wai's In the Mood for Love, and it develops into something darker than that. And similar to Serebrenikov's other films, it is virtuosic in the lighting and the camera work, the movement throughout.
Honestly, maybe other than Alfonso Cuarón, is there a better filmmaker for long takes in the world right now?
No. Serebrennikov is the top of the game in terms of that. I mean, the way his camera just floats through every scene is just gorgeous.
On an execution level, nobody does it like Serebrennikov. Every time I see one of his films, there's always at least one shot where I'm just like, how was this accomplished? It's absolutely stunning.
It's also a big question of how was this even conceptualized?
Oh, absolutely. And I think his background in theater also explains why he has some of the most stunning sets. That giant hotel staircase is one of the craziest locations I've seen in film this year so far. I don't know where he found that staircase, but that is so inherently cinematic and so moody, and that final shot through that staircase is incredible.
Like you were saying with the theatricality of the sets, it's also the theatricality of the lighting. He is not afraid in his lighting design to blast in unnatural lights. He just goes all out with making things existing in this cinematic reality instead of a genuine reality. So that final shot of the movie where someone's just descending down a staircase as light blasts towards the camera, it feels completely like it's taken directly from the stage rather than feeling natural as so many directors do.
As for the story itself, you can kind of see where this is going from the start. You can infer that there's going to be a relationship building, and indeed that's what happens. But the film takes some crazy twists and turns that put the film onto a completely different trajectory and which make you think about these characters in completely different ways, and that make this film a lot richer and make the title a lot more meaningful. I think that the way Serebrennikov shoots this film and expressing these characters' needs and wants through the locations, through the way they're framed within the groups of people they are at, does showcase the rise of an important director and an important visual storyteller.
I think it's also worth giving a shout out to the performers in this film because the lead actress is absolutely incredible. She truly is going for broke with this role.
Did you know that the lead actress, Franziska Petri, is German and does not speak Russian, and the lead actor, Dejan Lilik, is Serbian and does not speak Russian? Both of their roles were dubbed.
I did not know that. Wow.
So let's talk about Serebrenikov's new film. This is his first film since leaving Russia, and his first film that isn't primarily in Russian. It stars Ben Whishaw as the title character Edward Limonov, described, and this is the plot synopsis, a revolutionary militant, a thug, an underground writer, a butler to a millionaire in Manhattan, but also a switchblade-waving poet, a lover of beautiful women, a warmonger, a political agitator, and a novelist. I guess this character has done it all. And this film will take place over a long period in many different countries with characters speaking many languages. And this is also based on a book by Emmanuel Carrière, who is a celebrated French novelist.
The film certainly sounds interesting. It's one of the ones I'm most excited for. I think the major question here is, can we expect Kirill Serebrennikov to ever win awards? He keeps showing up at Cannes, and he keeps walking away empty-handed.
That's true. Batting 0 for 3 is better than batting 0 for 7 like Arnaud Desplechin and James Gray. And I think that perhaps this might be the film to break that. You just heard me ramble on about Ben Wishaw's character. This is a meaty role. This role takes place over many years. He's gonna be caked in makeup by the end, and he's gonna be speaking various languages, including Serebrenikov's native Russian. So this might just be the role of his career.
The problem often with Serebrennikov films is that while the filmmaking is virtuosic, the screenwriting oftentimes suffers. And I do worry that Limonov will fall into that same trap.
You're right that the screenplay could fall into trappings of a biopic, but if we're to trust Emmanuel Carrière, maybe this is one of the greater screenplays that Serebrennikov has directed up until now in his career. In the next episode, we get soaked in blood for Coralie Farjat's short film Reality Plus and her new film The Substance.
So join us as we pick at this director's twisted mind.